In 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's
Welcome
up,
back, ladies and
everybody?
gentlemen.
Happy
Happy Halloween.
Halloween. Happy October 31st. That is the day this is being filmed.
Yes, sirs and ma'ams out there. It's actually right now it's Halloween, which is
I
ironic
know.
because the weekend was earlier. It was like 2 days ago by now.
It probably unfortunately this episode probably won't even be able to be out on Halloween because
Fuck it.
but hey, it was, and
like
that's just
we're
because
recording it on Halloween.
that's just because it takes I can't download it after we do the YouTube lives for a whole 24 hours for some reason.
Nah, I think it's also because it's like right after, like YouTube is processing the information during those 24 hours. So it takes a second to like download all that stuff. But that's fine. It's still like the Halloween vibe. You know what I mean?
You just cut out so much for me, but yeah, exactly what Sean said. Unless it was something very, very.
It was something salacious. No, but I was just saying that like, since Halloween is during the weekday anyway, it's
wait. I'm gonna put you on
Tuesday.
I'm gonna put you on LTE. Honestly, I think that might be better. How about now?
How's it going? Is it cooler?
I think that's better.
All right, cool. But anyway, Halloween is on a weekday anyway, and not on a weekend. So, whether it comes out on Halloween or it comes out a couple days after, I think the vibe will be the same.
Yeah. You can still sometimes have the spooky season going into November. Why not? It's the remnants of Halloween. But the important part is that it was filmed on October 31st. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Howdy,
everybody.
Have a nice little story about Halloween.
Uh-oh.
I went on a hike recently, and we were going to this place in New York. We ended up having to get rerouted. And so...
Wait, when was this?
This was like 10 days ago.
Okay.
And we ended up having to get rerouted. So we went to this other train stop because there was mudslides on the first train. And we had to drive through this old town. And I was like, this is such an interesting little town. It's like very historic and all this stuff. And then I started seeing signs for Sleepy Hollow. Does that ring a bell to you?
I remember there was like a show on CW, I think, called Sleepy Hollow.
I think you're right. That's what I initially first thought of. I'm like, wasn't there something like some TV show called Sleepy Hollow? But I was like, oh, it's called that because there's it's like a town. Like I knew the town's name was Sleepy Hollow, but I didn't know that it was like a real place. And so
neither did I. That's crazy.
Right. And so I'm riding through Sleepy Hollow. I'm like, whoa, this is so weird. Like, let me look up the history of Sleepy Hollow. And
you sound like Paul Revere, bro.
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting because like the town itself was created in 1640, I think. Like, so it's a very old town. It predates the country like over 100 years. And then this English poet was visiting. I think he visited. From what I could tell, he visited the U.S. and like at that time, Sleepy Hollow was just this like super small, like low key, quiet town that was like had all these like ghost stories, and it was like just this sort of I guess like it was very new, right? So very little there, but very creepy. Mm-hmm. And now when you go there, it's very historic. It's got these beautiful buildings, these weird shops, like boutiques, like no fast food, no like McDonald's. Like they haven't gotten in there.
There's no McDonald's. They don't even got the Wendy's out there.
No, they ain't got like the fast food chains. It's so interesting. And they obviously like they went crazy for Halloween. But like the thing that was created in Sleepy Hollow is the Headless Horseman. That's like the tale that was created there, which, you've heard of the Headless Horseman, I assume.
I have heard of the Headless Horseman.
Yeah. And so basically this English poet was like visiting Sleepy Hollow in like the 1800s or something. Mm-hmm. And then in 1820, he wrote the story called, I think it's called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And that's the original tale.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's the original tale of the Headless Horseman. So he was created. The Headless Horseman was created in 1820. The town in 1640. So the town is like very
Wait,
famous
wait,
now.
wait, wait, wait. The story came out 20 years before the town,
The town was founded in 1640.
right?
The story was created in 1820.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like it'd been around for like a decent amount of time when the guy went there. So it wasn't like completely barren, I don't think. It was just kind of this like new like spooky town where there already were supposed ghost stories and stuff like that. So they go all out for Halloween. It was a really fun shuttle ride through the town. So I thought that
We
was
got to
cool.
do that for Garoom. We should go back to Garoom,
nah.
Texas, and come up with a wild like Halloween story and see if it sticks.
I know, right? I wonder if
That
the
place is
rumors
spooky.
of the Headless Horseman were already circulating. Like, I wonder if he got the tale from like a local of Sleepy Hollow, or if he just like came up with it himself.
Or hear me out. Hear me out. There was a dude one night riding with no head. And so everyone saw him, told a story about him, and there it was.
Seems legit. Then I started looking into the Headless Horseman. Since it's Halloween, I feel like I can tell this story.
Okay, spook us.
And I started like reading reading about other tales about the Headless Horseman. And there's this like King Arthur one. Nobody knows like who exactly wrote it because it's like lost to time who did. But basically, King Arthur's chilling with his Knights of the Round Table, and there was actually this is the story called, I think it's called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and they made a movie called The Green Knight. Remember? And so
yeah.
And so basically the story is like Arthur's chilling with his knights at the round table, and this dude that's just fully green with a head rides up and in. And he's like, yo, I kind of think of like the guy from SpongeBob, like what's his name? Like the Davy Jones. Because he's like all green.
Yeah, with the octopus head and has like little like
right, but just imagine like a
thingies.
dude, just like a dude on a horse, and like it's all green and translucent, I assume.
Okay, a dude on a horse.
And basically, he's like, I dare you to give me a blow to wherever you want, like as far as like a sword goes. I know where your mind went. Your mind went to the gutter, man. Your mind always goes to the gutter.
I too would pull up to the castle and be like, I claim at least a couple blows, at least 1 to 2 blows. That's all I'm saying. All right. For my long journey, a blow would do me well.
No, that's the weird part though. It's because like this man just pulls up to the castle and he's like, strike me in any way, as long as in 1 year you receive the same strike. I'm avoiding the word blow because I know you'll laugh too much. But he basically goes, give me any type of blow you want. And in 1 year, the deal is you have to return the same blow. So I guess like if there was somebody who there could that could be one of the outcomes. You know what I'm saying? Like if they so chose.
Blow me as long as I get the blow. In a year's time, I will return the favor.
Anyway. So I don't know.
No,
the funny part to me is like I don't know why he did that in the first place. Like I was just reading like the story on Wikipedia. Like I didn't like dig through I started reading the old texts, but I was like, I ain't got time to read these. Like this is gonna take a minute. And so I just got the quick notes summary, Wikipedia. But anyway, they're like, okay, and King Arthur's about to do it, like cut his head off. And I'm like, why would you cut his head off if you knew you had to like return the head being cut off a year later? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like he
said all or nothing. He was like, it's either A, I kill him and never have to deal with his ass again, or I'm about to get this strike. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
all or nothing.
I guess. So he was like scared of this dude, maybe. And so he's about to kill him. But then the young knight, Sir Gawain, who's also like his like nephew or stepson or something, is like, wait, I want to be initiated into the Knights of the Round Table. I can do this. And then King Arthur's like, okay, son, you got it. And so this guy, Sir Gawain, goes up and he like just beheads the guy. And I'm like, that's so stupid, bro.
Ew.
You know you're about to get beheaded in a year. But I guess the point is they didn't believe him. Like, right? They didn't believe him. They're just like, this guy's dumb. He's just gonna die.
Saying quick
But
work. What's he gonna do to return the favor?
well, here's the thing, right? So his head falls off, and then he just picks up his head from the ground and like holds it up, and it keeps talking. And he's like, all right, I will see you in 1 year.
High key, bro. I'd leave right then and there. It's time to go. Ain't no way.
Well, the thing is, then the
It was a
Green Knight
setup.
left right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh snap, what do I do? So he's like, all right, well, I gotta go like meet him there anyway. So he starts going on these travels, and he like meets these like farmers that take him in. And basically he ends up being like, what is it? It's like whatever. He has this deal with the guy who's a farmer there, and it's essentially like, I'm gonna go bring food to your table as long as you give me what you gain during the day. So hypothetically, I'll go get you dinner, but like you have to give me, you know, if you find, I don't know, if you find the money, or if you find this, or if you find that, give it to me. So it's like a trade-off, kind of, right?
Mm.
Um, so basically, the farmer goes off one day to go get the food, and then Sir Gawain like starts getting like seduced by his wife, like the farmer's wife.
Hey man, she was oh, is this the blow for blow?
Well, it's not quite that, but it's similar, right? And so
Head for head?
basically she kisses Sir Gawain. So then the farmer comes back, and then like Sir Gawain just like kisses this dude on the mouth. And then he's like, but
Oh.
he doesn't say where the kiss came from. So like the farmer doesn't know that the kiss came from his wife. Right?
Was it just a kiss?
Well,
I thought it was blow for blow.
there was like, oh yeah, and before that one, there was like a few others and stuff like that. But basically, the farmer starts getting suspicious. So Sir Gawain's like, all right, I gotta stop this. I can't keep doing this. And the wife is like, oh, come on. Okay, fine. We can stop, but please just take this magical, what was it called? It's like a belt sash. This magical sash will stop you from getting beheaded because it has magical properties. So please take this with you. So Sir Gawain, goes and he gives like one more kiss to the farmer, and he gets his food. But he decides not to give him the sash because he received the sash. So hypothetically, he should have given the sash to the farmer too. But he wanted the sash so that he wouldn't get killed by the Green Knight.
Why would the sash protect him?
Because it had magical properties.
Okay. Some magic bullshit. Okay.
Well, why is the Green Knight able to hold his head? Yeah, this is Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. This is like all of this is all, you know what I'm saying? This is King Arthur we're talking about. Anyway.
This is a wilderness.
So yeah, so he doesn't, he's not honest to the deal with the farmer. Essentially, then he goes like on the day to meet the Green Knight. And the Green Knight's like, yo, what's up? Da, da, da. And he's like, haha, what's up? Da, da, da. And then basically the Green Knight like raises his sword to like, cut at Sir Gawain's like thing, like at his neck. And he's like, huh, and he like swings it, and then it just like nicks his neck. So it doesn't really do any damage. And then
let's go. The satchel worked.
And then the Green Knight's like, haha. In truth, I was actually just testing you the whole time. You see, and I kid you, I shit you not, bro. He's like, remember that? He's like, remember that lady on the farm you were kissing? That was me in disguise, just testing you. And he's like,
there's no way.
He's like, I'm gonna let you go. He's like, I'm gonna let you go because you're like the most like innocent of all the knights. But since you were like not honest and you broke the deal with like the farmer dude, about how you'd give him everything you got. I'm gonna make it so you like have to wear this green sash like for like the rest of your time or whatever. So like he's like, okay, shit, good deal. So he just like wears this green sash and then heads home. Like that's it. But then the rest of the let me turn off my because I hate how this keeps buzzing. The rest of the nights, like
I'm crying.
yeah,
I'm
the
actually
rest of the
crying.
nights then start wearing green sashes to remind them to be honest.
I would have slapped the shit out of every knight. What you telling me? The Green Knight sucked me off, told me, you thought that was the wife? It was me, bitch. You gotta wear this green sash. I just went through all that. Wasn't even my idea. It was King Arthur's head ass. I was like, hey, cut the head off of this head ass. I end up getting the punishment for it, and y'all all wearing green satchels. What the fuck is going on?
Well, they're wearing the green satchels to like honor him. Like, so now they're all wearing green sashes to remind them to be
fuck
honest.
that. They're clowning that motherfucker. That's what they're really doing. They're
also the funny thing to me is like I don't remember any other like King Arthur stories or photos having them wear green sashes. So I'm like, is that like some sort of like staple of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table? Not that I know of.
No, bro, it was a prank. They got his ass.
So that's just one of the tales of the Headless Horseman. Like that's not the one that's of Sleepy Hollow. The one of Sleepy Hollow is like that's like the official Headless Horseman, but they were talking about how there's different iterations and different origins of these types of characters, basically. That's a lot of characters.
Oh, wait. Can we just recap really quickly? The dude pulled up to the castle. Said, yo, blow me, and in a year's time, I will blow you back. Fucker cuts his fucking head off, and is like, oh shit, this motherfucker for real, because he picked up his goddamn head and walked away.
Yep.
So this motherfucker finds a farmer, starts hooking up with the wifey, because the wifey's a baddie, and then, oh, big surprise, the knight is the baddie. The whole time. yo. And because I guess like the sex was good or something, the knight was like, you know what? I'll let you go. Just wear this satchel for me instead of, getting your fucking head cut off.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah.
Yo, who wrote this?
That's the thing. That's the thing nobody knows. Nobody knows.
God, man. Folklore. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Oh my god, that's hilarious, man. That's
legend
hilarious. You just found that out on a random Tuesday?
Yeah, well, I was looking into the Headless Horseman because of going through Sleepy Hollow, and it was giving me like different like tales of the Headless Horseman. Like I think there's a bunch of different like iterations. Like sometimes he goes by this, sometimes he goes by that. So that was I don't think he's actually referred to as the Headless Horseman in that story, but they were saying it's like another part of the origin, when there's like a few stories probably about a dude without a head, one spreads to the other. It's kind of all like the creation of the character type of thing. Mm-hmm. But like the one that's like the legend of Sleepy Hollow is like that he was some like war guy who got killed unjustly or something. There's like a term for it. And therefore his spirit still roams and stuff like that. And in this case, he, got his head cut off in war. So that's why he was like unjustly killed. I don't know who killed him and all that stuff, but that's why he like goes and like haunts the town of Sleepy Hollow. I don't have as much in-depth knowledge as that. I was like really, really diving into that King Arthur one. Cause I was like, this is weird.
That one is interesting. That one is.
I just think it's also hilarious that he just like let him go at the end. Like I was like, isn't this supposed to be a scary story? He's like, he's like, ooh, you have to face this insane strike to the head a year later, and then he's just like, huh, gotcha. He's like, got that neck. Like he literally. That's what I'm saying.
He was like, huh, it was me, Barry. Like he me buried the fucking Sir Guido whatever Sir Gynecologist. Like what the fuck?
Exactly. I hope you all like our costumes. Speaking of.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Actually, this weekend I went as a cowboy. Had a nice jacket on. I'll put a little post on the gram or something today, just to show y'all. I had a really solid Halloween weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's Halloween right now, but I had a great Halloween weekend.
Good.
I feel like I was I was kind of antsy before. There was a lot of
Oh
pressure
yeah.
to like for me to host a Halloween party. I was asked by multiple people because I did it last year. I didn't really feel. I felt like I shouldn't do it. There was something in the universe that's telling me like now is not the time. I was asking mad people about it. I asked you about it. I even asked your sister about it as well. I was like, I don't know if I
I think
should
I
do
said
this.
yeah,
I don't
right?
know. You were like, yeah. But your sister was like, nah.
Oh,
And I was like, you know what? No.
dang.
I ended up not hosting a Halloween party, and boy, was that just like the right idea.
Why do you say so?
Because so normally, everyone has their groups of friends, their connections, blah blah blah, and there's always that one person that will host the big costume party smash,
Mhm.
right? And we were that last year,
Mhm.
and that was cool and everything. But because I didn't do it this year, there was a vacuum for someone else to like take the mantle, right? And it was already like we were a week away from the weekend already. So it was like it had to be called now and not later. So my good friend Lauren decided to be the one to throw it at her place. And boy, that shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Great. I'll have to send you some photos later. She had decorations everywhere, cobwebs,
Oh
bats,
wow.
fucking. If you go to the bathroom in the shower, there was a dead body with a scissor stabbed into its
Oh,
head.
was that a
There
part
were
of the
skulls everywhere.
was that a part of the decorations, or was that just like some
That was just no. Someone just fucking died. It was part of the It's not just part of the decorations. It was part of. She set up a game of like what's it called? It was kind of like Clue, but for
Oh,
the
cool.
party. Like everyone was either a suspect or the murderer, and everyone had to figure out who the murderer was.
Oh. Oh, it was like what's
So
it
it's kind of
called?
fun. You can pick out clues.
It's a murder mystery party.
Yeah, it was a murder mystery party. It was so cool. It was so we had that. She had a cauldron with and I don't even know what kind of drink was in there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what was in there, but there
It
was
was
like
blood.
literally there was what's it called? Like smoke leaking out of the cauldron.
Ooh.
And she dares look me in the eye after I'm looking at this thing just like leaking. She's like, yeah, you should drink it. Take a couple cups of it, honestly. It's so delicious. Oh my god. I don't know what's in here, but it was good. It was good. Brought Dr. Pill out, so I'm in charge of the aux.
Right.
I have a perfect, I mean, you already know from the last one that we did. I think I've curated a damn near perfect Halloween playlist.
Halloween what?
Playlist.
Oh,
Playlist.
okay.
I don't think anyone can make a better one in 2023. Sorry. I'm sure y'all's are okay.
Challenge accepted.
But I slayed that. I slayed that, man. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I didn't do one so that Lauren could do one. And she had mad heads in the room, bro. It was getting hard to move around. I'm like, yo, there's so many different corners of people. You got like also keep in mind we went to an international school. You got this sector of like Americans kind of doing their thing. You have this section of Russian speakers, so Russians, Kazakhs, I think maybe one Ukrainian. Like there was like just crazy people over here. Then you got all the Latin Americans who
Hold on. What does
speak
this
their
have to
crazy
do? What does
Spanish.
this have to do with the Halloween costumes?
It has nothing to do with the Halloween. I'm just telling you the vibe of the.
Bruh?
I'm just telling you the vibe of the party.
Why are you announcing? Yeah, so
I'm just telling you the vibe of the
white
party.
People in this corner, we had our Hispanic people in this corner. Oh yeah,
I'm just trying to paint the picture for you that this was a very diverse party. There was like mad people everywhere in their outfits.
The way you said it. Oh yeah, we had our Hispanics over here. We had our Russians.
Yo, look at Kevin trying to TMZ me right now.
Why
you trying to TMZ me right now, bro? Why you trying to TMZ me right now? I didn't say that to say that we're all segregating. I said that to be like we had just so many different people from all over the world in one place. It was crazy. That's what I was trying to say. This motherfucker trying to TM the fucking
You
Z out
said
of me. What do you mean you have your white people to the left and then your Latinos to the right? I didn't say that.
nah, bro.
I didn't say that.
Run that clip
I
back.
said Americans. I said Russian speakers, as in people that speak Russian. That's more than just even Russians.
You said,
in fact, it wasn't really Russians.
You used terminology such as over here, over there, from what I recall.
Yeah, just to get you in my so you can understand my perspective. Like you go and they're like, boom, over here, boom, over. I'm trying to put you in the scene.
It's okay, Sean.
You know, whatever.
Some people
it doesn't matter.
You, but
anyway,
I understand. I understand that
Thank you.
That you,
anyway,
you didn't mean
costumes were lit. Costumes were lit. I saw feminized Chucky. She was a little cutie. Saw a couple. There was 2 Wolverines, a Star-Lord, a Spider-Man. Do you know the couple from Atlantis, the movie?
Like
have you seen Atlantis?
I have. It's been probably 13 years.
Well, if you have seen that movie or its sequel, that main couple, that was out there that night. Mario was there. Like it was a good round, and I was afraid that it was gonna be like, oh shit, we're gonna have nothing but fucking Barbies, Kens, Taylor Swift's, and Kelsey's. That's what I was afraid of. But nah, man. Like, as diverse as the room was, the costumes were also pretty diverse.
Good.
It was cool.
Good.
It was cool. Couple skeletons. It was nice, man. I had a great weekend. Unfortunately, the day after, it was like I had to recuperate. You know, we have a late night, especially since I wake up early in the morning. We have a late night like that, and then you gotta wake up the next day. It's like a different world. It's like where are we?
Yeah, you gotta recover after a spooky Halloween. I went to a house hopping party. Have you ever heard of that before?
Is it when you hop a bunch of different houses?
Yeah,
you're just going to a bunch of different house parties.
Exactly, but it was arranged by the neighborhood. So
that's different. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so it was it was you went from one apartment to the other apartment to the other apartment, and everybody was ready to. Well, it was a townhouse. Well, yeah, they were townhouses. It was this one neighborhood, so they all kind of looked very similar, the houses. So it was kind of trippy because you just be in one and then in the other, and you're like, this looks exactly like the last house I was in. But it was kind of cool because you got to roam around the neighborhood and there was walks involved, so you didn't feel like there was, you didn't feel like there was too many people. Well, there were so many people that it definitely was a little bit too packed at times. But at least when that would happen, you could just head to the next house a little bit early or something, and then there'd be a few less people there. So there was time to walk and get fresh air and all that stuff.
That's different.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. That's crazy.
I never went to it either.
That's really different.
There was some Halloween decorations. Some places were decorated a bit more than other places as far as Halloween goes. But it was great. It was fun to see people in all their costumes. I did 2 costumes this year. I guess this is usually my backup third costume. And I was just what are we doing for Starbound today? And I was might as well pull out the Flash onesie. But I did Tony Hawk. Cute. And I did a classic, the Greaser.
Never fails.
Never fails.
Never fails.
It's a classic.
That's cool, man. I gotta bring out. I used to do a lot of Slytherin costumes in my past years, but I never felt like I fully completed it. I might do it, probably not next year, but the year after that. I'm gonna try to pull out a full cloak Slytherin garb, because that for me at least never fails.
That would be a fun one. I've never gone full out either that, but to do a cloak and all that stuff, that would be fun.
Yeah, I want to do the cloak. I want to get a wand and be like, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Do all that type shit. How were the people at these Halloweekend parties?
They were good. I only knew honestly, I would say I knew about 6 people going into it. And so I met way more people than I knew, basically.
Same on this side. I feel like, oddly enough, Halloween is when like all the randomest heads start to like come out of nowhere. Like I met a lot of new people. A lot of those people though, I did not like. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Some of them were cool. I feel like 60, 70% of them were cool,
man.
but that 30%, man, left a bad taste in my mouth. In fact, I'm gonna sub them on my next post, Instagram post. I hope they see this. On my next Instagram post, I'm a sub y'all. I hate y'all, bro. Oh my
Dang,
god.
that bad, huh?
This one dude, I'll tell you this quick story. This one dude. So I'm oxing, right? I'm the ultimate DJ, holding it down. I got Katy Perry blasting. Like like you gotta understand. Like I was holding it down music wise. I know I was holding it down because people felt compelled to come up to me and be like, "Bro, like these are great. This is great music." like, I'm like multiple times. So anyway, not to. Sorry.
Why did this guy roast your oxing and so you?
No. So this one guy. He's like, hey, and he's a big fan of reggaeton and Bad Bunny. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm a fan of Bad Bunny too. So
he's on the top 5 Spotify. He's like,
no, he's like one. I think top 8. He's number 8. He's number 8.
I think last time I checked, he was like 4.
He might have. He just dropped an album, so he probably went up.
Oh yeah, probably.
He probably went up, so that makes sense. But no, Bad Bunny's one of the biggest artists in the world. Period. Right. So I fuck with Bad Bunny. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you can recommend a song. So, like, he tells me the song. I'm typing it in. I'm like, cool. I'm like, I'm just going to cue it up really quickly. And out of nowhere, and he does it quick. He's like, oh, no, let's play it right now. And then he takes his finger. And I was like, I'm not going to lie. I was not aware of what was happening until it was too late. He just takes his finger, boom. Presses the button. Next song.
Wait. Question. May I?
Word.
Did he queue it up, or did I'm assuming this was on Spotify. Did he queue it up next? Or did he just click on the song, or did you queue it up and then he hit skip?
I queued it up.
Okay.
And then after I queued it up, he was like, he just took his finger and just went boom. Immediately.
Now, that's extremely rude, but at least he didn't just click on it and then you know how that messes up the playlist thing?
Yeah.
Imagine, bro. You might have had to start the playlist all over again and skip through the songs that would have.
But my issue is that he played it immediately.
Oh yeah, no. That's still awful. I'm just saying, I'm thankful.
And you're not the DJ.
You're not on ours. You can't just skip. You can't just skip a song, especially if other people are enjoying it. That's messed up.
No, bro. I was about to get him honest. I swear to God, I got so pissed. I was calling people over. I was like, "Yo, mans and them, get this motherfucker out of here." I was trying to get him fucking kicked, bro. I called 2 people over, but a Katy Perry song came on. It was after his song.
You let his song play? You let his song play?
I let his song. His song was rocking, and a lot of the Latin American crowd, they were really messing with it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let them have this song.
In their corner that you left them in?
No, they came out of their corner and took center stage, bro.
Sorry,
they took center stage.
Think about it. I still have that image.
I know you're trying to TMZ. I saw that. I'm a slide it off my shoulder.
Sean, why are you organizing people like this, Sean? Why are you organizing people like this? It's very strange.
I didn't organize people like this. People organize them. I'm not getting into this. Anyway, so they were messing with the song, and then a Katy Perry song came on right after. I believe it was Hot and Cold.
Oh, it's a classic.
And yo, this guy that fucking destroyed. He didn't destroy my queue, but he just disrespected me, which I don't tolerate. He was turning the fuck up, bro. He was getting people hyped. Everyone was jumping. The place was smashing. Everyone was singing the lyrics at loud, full. Everyone's yelling, bro. I was losing my voice. I was like, whoa. And then I let him stay. I let him stay after that. Because although I hate that he did that and it was disrespectful, he did help me control the crowd and give everyone a core memory. When people think back to this night, they're going to be like, oh shit, that one time Katy Perry came on and we all went crazy. They're going to remember that. And he helped me achieve that.
Wow.
So it was like a favor for favor. You know, we let it slide.
You're so forgiving. You're so forgiving. You know, that's so nice of you.
Yes.
So you, I like
Yes.
how, I like how. Wait,
Yes.
wait. So how are you trying to get him thrown out? Were you like, hey?
On God, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought I was. I'm not gonna say I thought I was. I was like mafioso motherfucker, bro. Although this is not my house, Dr. Pill is mine, and therefore a third of this party is in my ownership. So I called over. I was like, yo, I called over like people, you know, my people. I was like, yo, get this motherfucker out of here. We started talking for a little bit. He's trying to plead to me, please let me stay. I'm like, oh motherfucker, yo, where Kevin at? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get not you, but the other Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Kevin, come over here. Like, I'm trying to get this motherfucker out of here. I give a fuck. But he turned up. And he helped me turn other people up. So
Did y'all have a nice little conversation after that?
we did actually. I took him after the whole thing. Like I took him out to the like there was a upstairs balcony area, and we just talked for a second. I told him, man, that was mad fucking disrespectful. And high key, I was very close. I wasn't even very close. I was going to get you kicked the fuck out of here, but you turned up to some Katy Perry. You know, so. We cool for now, but just keep in mind, motherfucker, you are on the thinnest. You can't request songs to me anymore. That's done. Okay. Secondly, try that shit again.
I'm geeked.
I can't promise your safety. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh
I can't
goodness.
promise your safety.
Wait.
I'm a nice guy, but like, if I wanted to ruin your life, I could. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not to be fucked.
So he skipped
TMZ.
Katy.
You can take that. Clip that up.
They will. What was I gonna say? So he skipped Katy Perry, and then he returned to Katy Perry.
No, it was a different. We had a different song going at the time. It was Doja Cat.
Oh,
I remember being fucking pissed. We had Doja going on.
Paint the Town Red.
Some Doja. I think it was Agora Hills actually.
That is Doja Cat, right? Yeah, that is Paint the Town Red.
Paint the Town Red is also Doja.
That'd be a good Halloween song. Because it's like Paint the Town
exactly, red. But motherfuckers be fucking up my cue, bro. I know Doja Cat had some people like, it's all right because he helped me out. But then the Katy Perry came on after the Bad Bunny song. But yeah, I was upset that we couldn't play that song to its totality. So yeah, I'll be sending some subs on my Instagram later. Check that out when it drops.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear them subs, man.
You know, sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, and then I have to switch into like some serious topics just really quickly. But sometimes I have this itch that I just have to like. I gotta like diss some of y'all. Like I know cyberbullying is wrong, and I'm glad that we ended cyberbullying. Well, not ended, but kept it under control. But some of y'all out here need to be bullied. You need to be humbled. You know what I mean? And I feel like not bullying, but like we should be able to regulate each other as a society where we can keep ourselves humble and still have a good time. So I'm not recommending bullying. Bullying is wrong. It's foul. But I am recommending sometimes you got to hit some people with the subliminal. Put them in their place. Ooh. Y'all need to stop acting so wild out here. But on the other side, I'm conflicted about it because on the other side, I tell myself like, I want to go a week without feeling like I got to insult somebody. Feel like I got to like, put somebody in their place and act all aggressive. Like I want to go a week without feeling that. And that's the thing, Kevin. I think you might be right. Like I'm trying really hard. 1 week, don't do anything disrespectful. Anything. Last night I just sent an email to my teacher saying, and it's a long story what I was saying in that email, but at the end of it, I'm like, bro, you said something about a note on my paper about using second person, and I don't know if you realize your name is Yusuf. So I could have done so many parallels on like saying
Nah,
you
you did not
and
say that. You
Yusef
did not say
at the
that.
same. I put it's in the email, bro. I can read it to you. But I'm not gonna lie, like
You made the argument, like he said you're using second person here, and you made the argument. Well, your name is Yusuf. Yusuf is in your name. So if I used your name and I said Yusuf, then technically I'd actually be using third person. So what if I'm just referring to you as like you pulled out that argument, bro? You
okay,
pulled out
don't take
those
it that.
stops.
I don't take it that far. Don't take it that far. What I had said in this email. So, and then here's a little bit of background knowledge before I say that. I wrote this paper, and I wanted to use second person because it allowed the reader to really feel like something was happening to them that they couldn't stop. It was intentional, right? So I was using second person, and then in my the way that he graded my paper, he still gave me an A minus, but he was saying, just so you know, uh, he didn't even say just so you know. He was like, never use second person in an academic paper. Exclamation
Oh,
point.
wait a second. What kind of paper was this?
This was a response paper. So like you take some sources that you learned from the past week and then you write about your response to that.
So how did
Your
you use
thoughts.
like you were talking as if you were talking directly to the reader?
I angled it because my prompt was, and this is going into a lot more other things, but the prompt was people tend to correlate uh binge watching and binge eating as similar forms of negative consumption. Uh
Oh.
what are your thoughts, right? And I wanted to take the cynical route of saying, you know, consumption is almost like a drug, right? It's an addiction. You have no control over your actions, and so I was trying to use you a lot to be like, look, my paper is talking to you, and you can't stop it. Like that was the
Oh.
psychological game I was playing in my paper,
So he was
and
saying you should have been like, one has no control over one of the.
no, that's what basically is kind of what I felt like he was trying to tell me. And I get it. I think he understood the reason why I did it, but he was just saying like, oh, like academic papers in general, like never use second person. That's a law. We don't no exceptions, blah, blah, blah. And when he said that, I was like, yo, let me write a really well-written email about exactly why, like, yes, most papers that use second person is just sloppy. It's just like it makes a paper like conversational, but I didn't do that.
No, yeah, it sounds like
I was
you,
putting
yeah.
I was putting points on the board,
Well, it
bro.
sounds
Like
like you
I did it in
chose
a way
it.
that was smart.
You wrote it on purpose. Like it was like you meant to do. Like I guess it would if you slipped into it where you weren't in second person before, then it would be kind of weird. But you said you wrote the
Yeah.
whole thing second person, right? So
Yeah, I wrote the whole thing. It was designed to be in second person. So I wrote him just kind of I could go for days about how well I like cleverly put it together, how I, like why I put it in second person. And then I put a PS because his name is Yusef, right? And the key word of
Mans did
second person
not put
is
a PS.
you.
Mans did not put a PS.
I put a PS. And look, like this professor, okay, this professor like knows what they're doing, but he's also like my man's. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
we're chill like that. So I was like, P.S. Just so you know, like your name is Yusef. We're talking about second person and the use of you. Like I could come up with some clever parallels about this. Unfortunately, I feel like it would sound better phonetically than it would be like written down. Like saying like, oh, yourself tried to, whatever. I was gonna do a play on words with it. I told him like it probably would sound better in a rap. So if I ever work on that rap, I'll send it to you. Then
Wait,
I sent
what?
the email off.
So you said PS. Because your name is Yusuf, I feel like I could draw some interesting parallel points with or something like that.
Yeah, I said because your name is Yusef and we're talking about the use of you as second person POV, I could easily draw like a couple like metaphors about how you're Yusef and like you is in Yusef. Like I could have done a play on words, but I didn't. but I just want you to know that I thought about it. I want you to know that I was considering it. That's basically what I said.
Is that a threat, bro? Like, I can't tell if that's a threat or not.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing why, like, so he emailed me back and he said, like, he basically said, like, he roasted my email a little bit and tried to like duck it a couple points. But then he said, since I was entertained and you do draw an interesting point, I'm gonna let it slide this one time. But for God's sakes, don't use second person on any of your academic papers. I'm like, all right. But I got my lick though. I got my lick.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
It sounds like the PS Loki helped you out because it made him giggle.
Because I wrote the email not to like come at him like aggressive, but sometimes when I want to express something, I have to do it disrespectfully, or else it's not going to come across as like entertaining. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's definitely good to discuss with your teachers, like, and be able to see if you can get that grade changed or fixed or whatever in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my most frustrating times with a professor in college was when he would give us like very little instruction and then like very little instruction and tell us to like do something, and we all would turn into the assignment and get like pretty bad grades on it. And I was like, what the heck? Like, you didn't even tell us how to do this. All you said was do it. And then we came back in having done it. And you were like, nah, this is all wrong. It gave everybody bad grades. And then we couldn't even redo it. And luckily at the end of the class, he was basically just like, okay, email me the grade you think you deserve and I'll make it that. Because he had like a different grading system than other.
I'm about to lie my dick off. Oh, I deserve an A++.
I mean, that's what I did. That's because I spent so much time like debating with him that whole semester about like grades and this and that. Like, I was always he was a really nice guy. Like, outside of class, he really was. But inside class, you know, when like the teacher steps inside the classroom and it's like game on, like it's like the teacher's like, yeah. He wanted us to learn, and I gotta say that was one of the classes I did learn the most in for the actual like industry, I guess you could say. But I was like, man, you're stressing me out here with these grades because like you're not giving us any instruction. And then like we can't even retake it, we can't even redo it. Like, we're just supposed to guess how it goes. Like, and then everybody here is getting bad grades. So it was interesting, but it worked out at the end.
I do respect the professors that I don't care about strictness. Like, you're not gonna get respect from me if you're like extra strict. I don't really care about that. But the professors that really take their shit seriously and like push you. Because there's different ways to push your students into becoming better. I love those professors. Y'all are important. Y'all are so important. I feel like we'd be such a lackluster community if we didn't have professors that actually pushed at students and then just be like, do this assignment, finish it, I grade it. Okay, here's your grade, and then we go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
So that's good.
No, I agree. I mean, it's important that you need professors that are, you know, trying to teach, you know. I think it's always possible that in like a college situation, a professor may be there to fund their research or something, but and like not to teach, but they have to teach as like a side thing. And that's like, that would be frustrating. But like you typically, well, not typically, it actually just really depends. Like, on if you get a teacher that really does want to sort of teach the next generation, or a teacher that is just kind of on it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's so important. Yeah. It's like, if you want to keep the generations going, if you got to pass on your knowledge, you got to try to get the message across. You can't just like shout your info into a void and expect all the students to know it. Like, some teachers, I feel like they don't organize things so that it's actually accomplishable in college. Like, it's like such a ridiculous amount of like reading that like it would be like humanly impossible, or
one of my classes is like that, where the professor, like, he comes in, he clearly has no plan, or if he does, decides to put it in his head and not actually like have a track of what he wants to talk about. He'll just think about like a period of time and then go all over the place with what year everything happened. And just will shout out a bunch of random information that's, it's important, but it's just like, it's not organized well. And then he just leaves, and then we take a quiz while he's gone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not anti this class because honestly, a lot of people take this class just to get a GE out the way. So, the less he cares, the less we have to care. It's a symbiotic relationship, but it doesn't help in terms of interest. It doesn't help in terms of interest in the topic and in the school.
Dude, speaking of symbiotic relationships, Jay got Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. Symbiotic relationships. I don't know if you've heard.
That was a clean segue.
Thank you, dude. That
was a clean segue.
I don't know if you've been playing it. I intend to play it, but like it looks so good.
How am I going to play it? Let me. I still don't have a PS5.
Is it only on PS5? I didn't know.
Yeah, I think it's one of those releases where like only the new next gen people can play it. So.
Oh man, I feel also
I don't have my PS4 anymore.
Why not?
It was on the plane and they lost it.
Oh right. Oh, whatever happened with that though? Because I remember you had a game. You had a game plan for getting that stuff back, didn't you?
I did have a game plan. Unfortunately, the airline told me to go screw myself. They gave me half of what everything was worth, and I didn't end up getting what I deserved. But it's all good though because I'm working on my next plan.
Which airline was that? Give them some smoke.
Yo, Spirit Airlines.
Of course. How'd I know? Before you even said it, I knew it.
Royally. I know everyone's probably saying, Sean, it was common knowledge. Spirit Airlines is garbage.
Dude, you got to do it sometimes.
It was a scenario where it wasn't optional. It was like the window was closing for a certain opportunity to have a great trip in places I've never been to before, sort of. And it was what it was. And it is what it is.
I flew Spirit cross country too, bro. Awful decision. But it's just like the best price. Like sometimes it's like the most last minute one you can get. Like, but
that's what I'm saying. Spirit will always have a slot open for you for some reason.
Because other people trying to get rid of their spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no, not Spirit.
They're trying to duck it. They're trying to duck Spirit Airlines.
Honestly.
Yeah, so they did me wrong, but I'm actually still working on a situation where they can make it right for me. So it's okay.
Anyway,
for now,
the game looks fire. Have
you played it?
No, I've watched Jay play it. And like it looks so cool. Like I love when they bring in Venom and all that stuff. Like I just love that stuff.
No, especially like the first game was game of the year. Honestly, it reminded me of like when Arkham City dropped and it was crazy.
This game looks even better.
That game went crazy.
This game looks even better than the first one, especially like story-wise.
That's what I'm hoping for, honestly. Like improvements, because I think the first game was already so strong. So just stick to the track that you're already on and just make anything that you couldn't do in this first one, like do it +2 in the second one.
Have you heard anything about it? Have you been like watching gameplay and all that
I've been intentionally trying to duck it.
Oh snap! Sorry then. I didn't mean to spoil it for you, but I figured that was kind of common knowledge.
You didn't spoil anything. I mean, everyone knows the symbiote. The Venom and the symbiote was going to be a part of it because I saw the trailer.
Okay.
I understand the symbiote's there. I understand that there's some kind of way of playing both Spider-Man almost simultaneously. So
yes,
I get all that.
It's kind of like you remember how GTA 5 was like you could like. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but that's what I like to imagine. I haven't really seen, but I think it's probably something like that.
That's the thing. So I haven't, but other than that, like the trailer and not gameplay footage, but just like the details about the game, I don't really know anything about it, and I'm trying to keep it that way for as long as possible, just so that when I experience the game, it's like I'm just experiencing. There's no opinions. There's no other thing, because that's what ruined a lot of other things of content for me as of recent, where the mass will consume a piece of content and then they will spout out their opinion almost immediately.
Yeah.
And then now I'm going in with like these ideas from other places. I just want to go in not knowing shit. Like, let's just see what it is.
Yeah. Totally.
What it is. So
and then you gotta like defend yourself if you enjoyed the movie that everybody hated, and you're like, ugh.
Bro. And sometimes I'm up for that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know I mention him all the time, but when For All the Dogs dropped, I had personally a great experience of like going to the gym and listening to it.
I thought you said you weren't going to listen to Fat D. You made a whole point on this podcast about how you were not going to listen to Drake's Fat D. But you really took that all in.
I am not going. No, I was like,
down.
I didn't. I said I wasn't going to call it that.
What?
I'm not calling it that.
Sorry, Drake's.
That's
Fat D.
I'm not.
All of Drake's Fat D.
That's like I didn't. Nope. I didn't listen to that. I listened to For All the Dogs. I listened to that album. I didn't listen to no Fat D. I heard nothing about that.
These are your words. Like you can go back and check. You're the one who's talking about it.
Rewind it if I said it, but I'm telling you, I heard For All the Dogs.
Okay.
I did not listen to nobody's Fat D. Okay. Anyway, so I had a great. I can't stand this motherfucker. Anyway, I had a great experience with the album, just like when I was listening to it for the first time. And then I finally, because it dropped in the morning, so a lot of people didn't drop their opinions yet. And then 9 a.m., the opinions started rolling out. And again, just like, oh, it's trash. It's all too new age. It's, everyone just dropping their opinions. And at first I was shocked because I was like, wait, did we listen to the same thing? Because I did not have whatever experience that these people were having. And also it depends on, because he dropped it at a very weird time. He dropped it at 6 a.m. in the morning. And so some people waited until 6 a.m. to listen to it, and other people woke up and heard it first thing in the morning. And so that just kind of creates a whole different experience around it. Regardless, the internet had one opinion and I had the other. And I was like, oh, thank God I didn't look to the internet first and then heard the album. I'm glad I could just kind of go into it and then experience it myself.
Yeah.
Which I think this internet world is lacking now, where you'll get an opinion way before you get your own personal experience.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And
way before.
The thing is also, like, I think a lot of the times on first listen of albums, like, I mean, I think I've said this to you many times, but I don't hear things on first listen. Like, does that make sense? Like, a lot of the times I'll hear a song and I'll be like, I won't even take note of it. I'll just kind of like hear it, right? And then on the second time, I'll be
very
like,
casual.
I'll be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? And then on the third time, I'm like, oh, and then so it takes me. Now, sometimes on first listen of an album, I am like, ooh, that one was a banger from the get-go. Like on first listen, that was a banger. But a lot of the times it takes like, a bunch of listens, and then I'll change my favorites of this and that. And so,
especially since some songs require a certain setting and a certain mood in order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The really sad, slow heartbreak songs aren't going to land in a club where you're trying to turn up. You know what I mean? So it depends. And that's the thing with like music and also with just like a lot of different forms of media. If you consume it in a certain way at a certain time, you're not going to get the same experience every time.
And
so
it should be noted that like a lot of albums are not even made to be listened to like one song at a time. Like, for example, I've particularly noticed that for Kendrick's new album, everybody raves about it. Like everybody's like, yeah, that was fire. But I don't see people queuing up songs from it like even close to as much as his old albums. And I think that's because this new album is more so like a cohesive whole. So like if people want to listen to it, they'll like, don't get me wrong, every once in a while I'll see somebody queue it up. But like for the most part, I feel like people are like trying to like sit down and listen to the whole thing rather than like throw it on a playlist. Like they might, but not nearly as many as they would from like the older albums. What do you think of that?
And that's honestly that's a big argument between just sticking to the hip hop route since we were talking about Drake and Kendrick. There's so many different ways to make an album, and sometimes you make an album as a cohesive story, right? It's a mood that takes you from point A to point B in this through line, and that's great for an album listen. But occasionally, not even occasionally, we're in the era of playlists, right? Cue up something from the playlist, have a playlist shuffle going. You want to have songs that can fit other different situations. And some songs might be great in a context, but you can't take it out of the context. And I think just comparing, and these are both some of the greatest rappers ever, but just comparing the styles of Drake and Kendrick in terms of creating albums, Drake clearly leans more on the playlist style where it may not be cohesive in one project, but if you dissected it, took some songs for your sad boy hours, took some songs for when you want to turn up, took some other songs to play when you're with a girl and you're trying to be romantic. They're great songs out of context, but they're not great in context. And just taking Kendrick's last album, because Kendrick has done that other route before, but just this last album he did, all those songs are a great story of saying, this is what the world really is, and this is what I really am. It's about honesty, right? And also, all of those songs go perfectly with that theme in context. But I don't want to hear you rap about you used to say the FAG word all the time, and what, like, I don't want to hear all that when I'm at a party or I'm talking to a girl or in these other forms of context.
Right. Sometimes delving deep into the rapper's psyche is like, okay, I'm going to listen to this in the darkness and like really hear all the vocals, but not like, hey, let's turn it on at a party. You know what I'm saying? Like, that being said, Damn, his album, which Jay just got on vinyl yesterday, actually, like that album, I feel like is made to be playlisted. Like, it's like almost every single song.
I was just going to say, just sticking on Kendrick, I feel like Damn is the perfect mix of, you can listen to it as an album and there is kind of this through line between all of them. And then you can take any of those songs really out of context and it also works.
I can see what you mean, because they're all made to be playlisted, but because they're all kind of similar sounding, like a lot of them are just like based around the one word that the song is titled.
Right.
Like
each song has its own theme, and all the themes kind of lead to this like kind of bigger idea.
Yeah.
So it's like it does both, which is, I think, the hardest thing any artist could do, where you can do, this one song's a banger and the album's a banger.
But like, in my opinion though, like, and I like that album, don't get me wrong, but when it dropped, we were in college. I want to say
TMZ.
It was freshman year. I was like this is good. Like, they're good songs individually, but I did feel like it was appealing more to like a broad, like throw it on a playlist. So I didn't like it as much for that reason. For as much as I loved To Pimp a Butterfly, which, it's just a classic.
Yeah, like, I personally prefer To Pimp a Butterfly over Damn. It's slight. It's the amount I prefer is really slight because they're both fantastic. But I can see that. But ironically, though, Damn is the one, I think it was Damn, that got the Pulitzer Prize.
Oh, really?
Kendrick Lamar. And not To Pimp a Butterfly, which I think is technically has more artistic value.
I mean, I love the title already. I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly. It's like To Kill a Mockingbird, but like To Pimp a Butterfly.
No,
what does it mean? The
title is hard.
Butterfly,
the cover, the black and white in front of the White House with all these dudes, like, that was hard. The messages in every song is hard. They're also like, okay, All Right has to be one of the best songs ever made. It has to be up there now. It's like just some of the best songs that humanity ever came up with.
What's the Yams?
What's the Yams? No, that's the thing. Like, I think I like the concept of To Pimp a Butterfly more than Damn, not by a huge margin, by like a very minimal margin. But I feel like Damn, in terms of objectivity, like nothing subjective, no opinion based, is technically perfect. I think that album
Yeah,
is
I mean,
perfect.
if you argue it on I understand what you're saying, because like a title is subjective, like in what you like, even an album cover. But here's
Just
the thing:
like preference is
everything for the most
subjective.
part is subjective. One thing that you could argue is more objective in that regard is like the mixing. It's like how does
Yeah,
it like that's something
it's
that
the
I
mix.
would see as like is more objective. As far as objectiveness goes, too, it's also like plays and sales and all that stuff. So like if Damn sold better, then that actually is probably that's objective. So it probably
I'm saying just taking all those more objective ideas into account of like the finances, accomplishments, acknowledgments,
mixing and
accolades,
mastering.
accolades,
Yeah.
mixing, mastering. Also, can you play this song
But mixing
at
and mastering
parties?
still
Can
can be
you play this
subjective
song in the
too.
album? Huh?
Mixing and mastering can still definitely be subjective too.
I think honestly, all these different aspects can still have a subjective aspect to it. It's just it's when you're in like, let's say you're in an argument, right? And you have to pick and choose what you can use in your argument. I think these other things are you can lean on more as more objective than a different argument of just saying this is more artistic.
Right. If
What
you're
does that
writing a
mean?
paper,
What does that mean?
you're like, there are a few reasons why Damn won the Pulitzer over To
Right.
Pimp a Butterfly. And some of those reasons include the mastering and mixing on the album, the overall sales. I don't know, like, or no, because I feel like sales would be a
It's
weird point to say.
versatility.
Well, you could probably say that.
Sales and accolades. Like I know people like to act like, oh, making art is not about the success, but these artists need to survive.
Yep.
It is somewhat. It's not the center point, but it's part of what it's about. Like
Yeah.
getting money, getting sales. Does it work? Are people enjoying it on a widespread level? Like it's part of it.
Totally.
It's part of it. So yeah. Anyway, that's the thing about what was this? Why are we on this point about
We were
Kendrick and
talking
Damn
about
albums?
Drake and you
Oh,
listening.
experiencing it. So that just all goes to say that how you experience any work is it should be between you and the work. And yes, sometimes the work has different objectives on what it wants to do. Sometimes the media, I won't say the media, but society, sometimes we like to paint narratives of people and then force them to always be in this narrative no matter what they do. So even if, let's say, I don't know, let's take 6ix9ine. That's a great example. Let's stick to rappers. 6ix9ine is like the most joked on rapper in recent years, just for all the snitching stuff that he did back in like 2016, 17, 18, 19, whatever. If he drops just an album with music that's so good that it can just change someone's mentality into like being a perfect moral human being, right? I think people would still dog shit on it because of the person and the narrative that like, oh no, fuck this guy, he's a snitch, whatever.
Reputation.
It really plays into how people experience the art. So I'm like, no, for Spider-Man, I don't care whatever reputation people say. I don't want to hear none of that shit you got
You
on the
brought it back to
internet.
the main point. That's how it's done. I almost forgot
I
we were even
circled back.
talking about Spider-Man.
But that all that goes just to say,
Parker.
like, I want to experience this game for myself. But yeah, I do have some serious points that we do need to bring up. It's because it's what's happening in the world this past week.
Sean?
Yeah.
Yes, but let's not forget that we need to do a breakdown of how we're spending the rest of Halloween today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna wrap up with that. I say I gotta drop something.
All right, do your news. Sean's news bit.
Something more serious. Welcome back to the news bit. I do have some other stories to talk about in terms of the Hamas and Israel conflict right now. The war is still ongoing.
I'm
There
gonna
have
refill
been
my coffee.
strikes on the Gaza Strip. Go ahead. There have been strikes in the Gaza Strip. Um, Apparently, Israel has gone in and started raiding and trying to find the people that were kidnapped from the Hamas attack earlier. Hamas is also uh, striked back. It's nasty out there. It's literally a war zone. Lives are being lost. The people that were taken from that one concert in Israel are still not found to this day. They are looking for them. It's tragic. It's sad. Let's hope for a ceasefire. A lot of people have been talking about wanting a ceasefire just to slow everything down. A lot of Palestinians are being killed. Again, we still do not know where the hostages are. Everyone's calling for a ceasefire just to be like, all right, let's slow it down and figure this out. And I'm hoping that there's a ceasefire. Honestly, I'm hoping that I do understand that this conflict is not just complex, but there's active lives at stake right now. And so, it feels like a call for action. I'm really hoping we can kind of just find a ceasefire just so we can sort this whole thing out because this is getting messy. We might be losing more than we're gaining. It's tragic. On another tragic note, unfortunately, I believe it was the day of Halloween, or not the day of Halloween, the Saturday. It might have been Friday. Matthew Perry of the Friends cast had passed away. He is a legendary. Just like when you just think about Friends, just that thing that he did. This is a legendary show. To me at least. I'm a Friends fan. He's one of my favorite characters because he was so smug, man. I dealt with a lot of things after the show that I don't have to really go into, but unfortunately he passed away. Allegedly, I haven't really read too much on it just because usually when celebrities pass away, you don't the news on exactly what happened doesn't come out immediately. It kind of trickles out over time, and so the prevailing story is that he somehow drowned. It's scary. I don't like to hear that. Also, I wish it wasn't Matthew. I wish it wasn't anybody, but I wish it wasn't Matthew Perry. I love everybody from the Friends cast, and it is really sad to see that he is no longer with us. So, shout out to Matthew Perry. Shout out to everything you did, but especially that legendary Friends show. Like it wouldn't have worked without Matthew Perry. May he rest in peace and in power. Both, man. Both. I don't really have any other serious topics. Oh, look who's back.
What's up?
Not too much. I just covered a little bit about Israel Hamas situation. There's hopefully going to be a ceasefire. Everyone has been clamoring for that. There's actually been celebrities signing a thing to try and get Joe Biden to push for a ceasefire. Just because both people have been losing a lot on all sides.
I got you.
So,
I heard you. I could hear it. I heard.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be figured out. And then also Matthew Perry, unfortunately, passed.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Sad, man. It is what it is. This is the world that we live in.
Yep.
But there'll be brighter days, man. There'll be brighter days. I see it coming.
Anyway, yeah. So how are you gonna spend your Halloween today, huh?
Nothing. Jack shit. Jack fucking shit. Halloween. Look, I know today's literally Halloween. Halloween was this weekend when we were living it up. We had costumes and everything. Today I have class. I'm gonna go to class and then do that. All right. Yeah.
So, well, yes.
I turned up there.
I also have stuff to do. It's a weekday. I feel like the most thrilling Halloweens are usually when Halloween also lands on the weekend, because then everything's happening at once. But it's Halloween, so we got the candy. Probably have a bowl. passed it out to trick or treaters, which trick or
Are
treat.
the kids coming out tonight?
I would assume so.
I don't have no kids in my neighborhood, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't see
I need to
how
see
they
about
would get
trick or
into the
treaters.
apartment complex and knock on the door. That would be tricky.
I don't know how Halloween works in the city. Like,
I know,
you
right?
know what I mean?
But trick or treat, like where that originates from?
Let me guess. There were some prankers that were like, "Hey, if you don't give us a treat, we're gonna fuck you up." And then they fucked those motherfuckers up. And so people were starting to give more candy than saying no. And then boom, trick or treat.
Ding, ding, ding.
There you go, man. I know my lore.
That's the origin of trick or
I know
treat.
my lore.
I got to officially watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'd seen clips of it here and there throughout October. I watched like clips, but I officially sat down and got to watch it all, which was awesome. We talked a lot about it last episode. I got Jack Skellington standing right here as a part of the set. You probably can't see him, but he's there. Let me show you.
Wait. Where'd you get this?
This is from this game that Jay and I used to play called Disney Infinity.
Oh shit, that fucking game. Forgot about that shit.
And this is Jack Skellington. One of Jay's favorite characters growing up. I mean, who doesn't love Jack Skellington?
I don't know how you can dislike Jack Skellington. I think he's honestly, when I think of Halloween, he's the most, to me, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it definitively. Yeah, he's definitively the greatest Halloween character of all time. Period.
I don't even think you can argue with it because it's like he's such an iconic character.
Exactly.
And you can watch that movie like all the way up to Christmas, which is like, so I'm excited. I watched it, and this is not going to be the last time that I watch it before Halloween ends.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for me right now, I'm thinking about two things: Black Friday, so I can get a PS5 and then get Spider-Man, and then and then Christmas. I think I might want to host a little like Christmas party thing here.
Oh, that'd be wholesome. Wait, are you going to be home for Christmas at all?
Yeah, I'm always home for Christmas.
Oh, so you'd be hosting it here?
Always home for Christmas. No, I'll be hosting it over. I'm going to do an early one, like December 5th or something like that. Have some people over. Maybe do a little Secret Santa.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the like action verb of Secret Santa?
Secret Santa.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing some secret.
You don't know that, dude? Hopefully. That's like one of the first things you learn in like English 1, like Secret Santa.
Really?
That's like one of the first...
Is it Santa-ing? Is it Santa-ing?
No, it's Santa-ing. Secret Santa.
Yo, that sounds like you met a very...
That's like Sean, I can't believe you didn't know that. That's like such base knowledge.
That sounds like you're a Canadian and you went out to the desert and found a baddie, and you're like, that's that little Santing. You know what I mean? Little Santing. No?
I don't get it.
You
don't get it.
Canadians call attractive women tings. I don't know why. This is what they do. And then, like, if you met a baddie in the desert, that's a Santing. You know what I mean? Like,
all right,
that's a Santing.
I'm gonna leave that one where you left it.
Yo, why you ISOing me? Don't ISO me. Join me when TMZ takes this whole podcast
You've been
down.
Going crazy this episode with the TMZ, but I ain't got to do anything.
I'm turned up, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Today's a great day. It's Halloween. You know what I mean? I'm out here to have fun. I'm not out here to do whatever. I'm here to just do me. So, we're having fun.
I do want to say, as I said last episode, I think Halloween might be my favorite holiday. I just think it's really a time.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm serious. Like it's a time where like everybody can celebrate Halloween. It's not very most people celebrate Halloween in one way or another, I feel like, in the US, obviously. I mean, in other countries too. Because if it's not, Halloween, it might be like the Day of the Dead, which is like a day later. I think it's like November 1st or something.
It's coming up soon.
But either way, I feel like there's always opportunity just to dress up and meet with friends, and there's not much. It seems like it's more so a fun thing for everyone. I don't know anybody that like dislikes Halloween. I mean, except for you, obviously, because you were roasting it last time. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a very like wholesome holiday, even though it's like the spookiest time of year, and like everybody's just playing like the classic.
I was gonna say it's so ironic that you said wholesome because technically speaking, like, okay, this is a funny topic, so I'm gonna bring this up. You know how like have you ever seen is it Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that line of like Halloween is that only time of year where you can dress up as a complete slut and nobody can judge you? Have you heard that line?
I mean, I don't remember it specifically, but I believe that makes sense that it'd be from
It's
that
in
movie.
it's in the movie, but best believe it's in the movie. And I just wanted to say it.
Look, man, you can wear whatever you want.
To say it.
You can wear whatever you want.
That's what I'm saying. This is the time to wear whatever you want.
Well, no,
so I don't know about all that wholesome stuff you're talking about, but we having fun.
You can wear whatever you want any day of the year. I'm not going to stop you. That being said, when you want to wear some of y'all are
when
bold, you want to wear some stuff and other people like, without other people looking at you funny, October 31st is the day to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like honestly, October in general, because like there's usually like multiple Halloween events. So like if you're walking around like a weird costume, people are like, oh yeah, it's just because it's October. Oh yeah, it's just because it's Halloween. After October 31st, you can't get away with that unless it's like near another holiday.
Especially it's like that cozy family time. The vibe is different.
Yeah,
the vibe is different after October.
So
but man, some of y'all are bold, bruh. I ain't going front. This is not related to gender at all. All of y'all are like so bold. I saw some crazy stuff out there.
Well, I'm just saying, like walking around in in a Batman costume, like you were last year. For the rest of the year, people be like, "What's this man doing? Going to Comic-Con?" But like, if you're nowhere near Comic-Con, they're like, well, "Why is this man walking down the street as Batman?"
Exactly.
There will be people to do it. Though. Don't get me wrong, but if you're doing it like today, people are like, "Oh yeah, isn't that nice?"
It's chill.
Yeah, it's a time for everybody to like dress up in costume without any questions being asked.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna watch? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just had this urge to watch Monster House, so I think I'll do that today.
Monster House is a banger.
I was like, I'm not gonna be my typical Halloween Scrooge self that I'm portraying this. That's the new narrative I guess I picked for this year. But I think I'll watch Monster House. I haven't seen that movie in ages, and I love that.
That's a great one. It was terrifying. That one terrified me growing up.
That's where I learned the uvula.
Yeah, same. Like
that movie taught me what it was.
Like, what's a uvula? Yeah, dude.
What a uvula. And then you pull up to science class and they start talking about it. You're like, yeah, I already know what that is.
Uvula. That's exactly what happens. Then you start using it in date. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
What else? What's your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever wore?
Period. Darth Vader.
Oh yeah,
it's not even like an argument. Darth Vader. I actually want to do it again because it was so fucking.
You like Darth Vader more than Batman?
Because I have Batman's a close. Batman's in my top 3 for sure.
Who else?
Top 5. Batman's in the top 3, top 5. I had gone once as Nick Fury. I have gone once as Ron Stallworth from Black Klansman. I have been a lot of different things over the years, but Batman's definitely in my top 5. But it wasn't the same. Like that Batman was cool, but when I was Darth Vader, bro, it was perfect.
I remember
you couldn't see an inch of me. I mean, yeah, you were there. You were there.
You tried walking into school with that helmet, and they were like, "Nah."
I came close, though. I came close, man. Okay, and I also got misleading information. Okay, someone said that you could wear your costumes to school. They said that. I won't reveal their names because I don't want to embarrass them. But hey, you said it was cool. You said it was chill. So I was like, fine, I'll just pull up. And so it didn't work. But hey, man, it worked later that day. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes, sir.
It worked later that day. I would look good. I want to do that again so bad. Ah,
Okay.
I might do it next year.
Darth Vader.
I might do it next year, man.
Yeah.
Darth Vader. I might do either Darth Vader, full on Django, or
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of options for that. Man, Kenough. I might also be Ken.
Oh yeah.
Because fuck it.
Like Ashley.
Right now I'm Cowboy Ken. She was Ken?
You just talked to her with her I am Knuff sweatshirt before the.
Yeah, I meant like she didn't mention that she was Ken for Halloween. That's what I meant.
Oh, I don't know. I assumed that because it's Halloween, she was wearing that. It meant that she was Ken.
Oh.
Or she was Knuff.
In that case, yeah, exactly like Ashley, bro. I am Knuff. On that note, we should probably start wrapping this thing up because I have to go to class.
Yeah. Do you have what time do you have to be in class?
Okay, so luckily my latest class had canceled itself. So my next class is at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Oh, right. I forgot we're 3 hours apart. Okay, yeah, let's start winding down so you can get ready for that.
Word.
Anyway, oh yeah, my favorite costume though ever.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Was dang, I should have.
That's what you got on right
prepared.
now. What you got on right now, Flash?
Hey, take it easy. Oh, well, this is fun. I love throwing this one on as like an extra third costume, but I don't know. I mean, Robin was really fun last year, but I feel like
that was a good one. You did really good on that.
Thank you. It was a good time, but I
is
feel
it
like
top 5 at least?
Yeah, probably top 5. I mean, I feel like we've gone crazier in the last few years, like more recently, obviously, than when we were like kids. Because like when you're a kid, you'll just like get one. Not there's anything wrong with the preset costumes, but when Sean spent like $300 on that Batman costume, like,
look, man, look. Halloween, when you're inspired, Halloween is the time to stunt on hoes. And let me tell you, man, I stunted on some hoes, bro.
I loved doing the Defenders back in the day. That I like doing the group costumes a lot of the time, so that was fun. The Defenders, Iron Fist.
Oh, that has to be
Jessica
second.
Jones
That has to be that might be top 2. That's what I'm saying.
Like, it was basic costumes, but like it was still like awesome, and like having the dragon on my chest.
And it was a perfect time to wear it. Perfect time. We all had it. Because like the actual characters had very simple outfits. We could do it exactly. Like it didn't have to be like, oh, it's the gimmicky costume version. Like we had the exact outfits.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, dude, take me back. That might be my second. That might even be number 1.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And it was like simple. It was simple. You know what I'm saying? But like it got the job done.
We had a solid core of like people at the time. That was a good group to do that with. Fuck, man. Ooh, that's a good one. Shit, man. See, that's why I knew Batman couldn't be in my top 3 because I feel like that came up and I was like, yeah, that's odd. That has to be top 2. So Batman is somewhere in that top 5.
What have I done? I'm trying to now it's kind of hard to remember like exactly what I've done for a bunch of those years in the middle. I did Nightwing.
You've done at most 23.
I did. Did I dress up? I dressed up as Black Mamba once, but that didn't really count because we were in the middle of
that was good.
Black Mamba.
That was like exactly what. That was like a perfect 1-for-1 rendition of the costume.
Exactly. It was like the real thing.
Man, that has to be in terms of objectively. What was your most perfect costume?
Yeah.
That was the one.
I'm trying to remember what I did like the years prior to that, but for some reason I'm drawing such a blank. Like from like Defenders to like Nightwing, I'm like not sure like what I even did. Because like after Nightwing, I did Robin, so I did like two Robins basically 2 years in a row, And then this year I switched it up.
Oops.
This year Tony Hawk and the Greaser, but the Greaser I've done before. That's a classic. That's like a classic go-to
You
because it's
just pull
very
that out.
simple.
I was thinking, like my Slytherin costume, I can pull that out any time of the week. I can do that whenever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's solid. You gotta do another Robin at some point. You gotta do like
Red Robin.
isn't it? No.
Yeah.
You gotta do the one with the girl with the red hair. What's her name? Carol? It's like Carol or
Stephanie
Carrier.
Brown?
No, that's the blondie. Talking about the one with the red hair from like Dark Knight Returns. Or maybe her name is
Batgirl?
also Stephanie.
No, I think the one in Dark Knight Returns is Stephanie Brown.
I thought Stephanie Brown was the blonde girl.
You're talking about like
No, there's
Barbara
a
Gordon?
blonde
You're talking about
Robin?
like Batgirl or something?
No, Barbara is a straight up redhead. No, there's a redhead in Dark Knight Returns that's Robin.
I think
her
I've
name is
outdone.
Stephanie.
I think
I
I've
Stephanie's the
outdone.
blonde one.
I've outdone Robin. The only one that I would probably do again would be Red Hood.
Are you too old for Robin now? Is that what it is? Is that what you trying to
No,
say?
I said I would do Red Hood.
Okay. That's a tough one though, because that mask has to be right.
I know. I'd have to buy like an actual good mask, but then the rest of it would be relatively easy. I could just like
Easy.
spray paint the bat symbol, and then I could like wear a leather jacket, like, and then like cargo pants, boots, all that stuff. In fact,
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
rest of it you could do, but that mask, like you gotta go for it. You know, there's no shortcutting the mask.
I'd have to buy a good mask. I wouldn't do it unless I got like a good Red Hood mask. That would be hype. But I don't know. That would probably
You gotta do it in advance.
that would have to be like the
gotta
only
plan
money
it
I
in
spent
advance.
on it that year and all that jazz. So
Oh wait, first day of shout out really quickly today is the first day of American Indian Heritage Month.
happy American Indian Heritage Month.
Happy American Indian. I'm actually taking a Native American class.
Wait,
studying
yeah,
a lot
shouldn't
of
it be
the
called Native
history of
American Heritage
Americans.
Month? I thought we didn't use that term anymore.
First day of American Indian. It's American. Okay, so Indian is kind of a weird colonial term because it's also a term that the Native Americans have accepted.
Yeah, it's weird because it's
So
been
if
around
you go
for
to
so
their
long.
things, they will say Indian.
It's been around for so long, but it wasn't just because Christopher Columbus thought he was in India.
No, exactly. I mean, really, the term is racist, but it's so widespread. It's been so commercialized and marketed, and also a lot of these different groups because the legal terms. So, and I know this because I know the history a little bit because I have a class. There were treaties done between the American colonies and a lot of these different Native American groups, and the legal term is Indian.
Oh, interesting.
So they almost have to lean into the term Indian.
Interesting.
So
Did not know that. You learn
that's why
something
they say
new
like
every
Indian
Halloween.
tribal lands, Native American, like it's part of there's a whole, it's not just like a race. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like black people. There's a legal group called Indians, Native Americans, and like native tribes and stuff, and they have special protected legal rights based on treaties that were made in the 1600s.
Yeah. Interesting.
And 1800s.
Anyway, some fun little history for you on Halloween. And
Fun little history fact. Again,
Halloween
happy
discussions.
Halloween. Yeah.
I hope you go get candy. I hope this will probably be coming out after Halloween. So I hope you got candy and I hope you're munching on it right now.
All kinds of candy. All kinds of candy.
Favorite candy bar.
I hope the Green Knight blows you. I mean, you blow the Green Knight. I mean, you strike the night green strikes you.
What's your favorite Halloween candy? Real quick.
I have none. I'm not a candy lover.
No. It's like when you had a favorite candy. It's like whatever your favorite was growing up.
Twix.
Interesting.
Caramelly cookie. I'm a cookie lover. You gotta remember that. And the cookie in the middle of that Twix, that was the shit.
I'm a Snickers guy. Because you're not yourself when you're angry. You're not yourself when you're angry. Have a Snickers.
You know what's funny? That makes so much sense.
You're such a Twix guy. That's what I got the first time I looked at you. I said, Sean,
You're a Snickers guy. You're a Snickers guy, man. I actually love that for you. I take it back. I love that for you.
You know what?
You are the Snickers guy.
I'm so happy that you're a Twix guy too. You know, it just suits you. You know.
Yo, why are you switching up your tone on me? Like, what's up? Like, what's up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I did it again. I did it again, didn't I? You see, I was talking about earlier this podcast. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna try and go a week without sounding disrespectful. Can't do it, man.
Sean.
Even when I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I think I just slighted you by mistake. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man.
It's like second nature. Like I gotta slight somebody.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna try and get into a beef so I can just channel into that.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Anyway,
exactly.
Let's
wrap this shit up. I got places to be. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this episode of Starbound Podcast. We had a lot of fun here.
Happy Halloween! I hope you have a great holiday.
Happy Halloween!
Really embrace it, and I hope you are loving the fall and the trees and the weather so far. Because hey, it is beautiful over here with all the orange, yellow, red. So nice. I love it.
It still looks like springtime over here, but I feel the vibe.
Yeah, you get. I'm sending the vibe. We're sending the vibes from the East Coast.
Send the vibe. Send the vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, it's been your host, King Kudjo.
And Cough Drippy or Cough Spooky today.
Oh, cough spook season.
That's right.
And we'll catch you on the next episode. 2 Chainz.
Peace.